kick your sorry ass out on the street. What you got? You used to think you owned the street. We're back.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lowdown Show right here on No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, your Canadian wrestling podcast that talks about the WWE and NXT and no holds barred on anything we say. Pun intended. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at No Holds Barred WP. You can follow myself at Real Kyle Masters, and you can follow Corporate Cappy. As always on Twitter, you can follow us on Instagram at No Holds Barred WP. All one word. If you guys are into that Instagram kind of thing, go follow us on there. We are available to listen to on the go on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Spreaker. Guys, Spreaker is a free and glorious podcast app that is available for all Android and Apple devices. You can chat with us live on the air. We can see it right on the screen, myself and my co-host, and you can listen to all previous episodes of the podcast and listen live as we are live right now on the air on Spreaker. So go check us out there and follow us on there if you choose. If you want to watch any video versions of the podcast, that is available on youtube.com/NHBWR, where we're going to have also 2K content and unboxing on there. Lots of content coming up to the channel soon, guys, so stay tuned for that. youtube.com/NHBWR. Hit that subscribe button and that bell icon for all upload updates. I'm your host, the self-proclaimed greatest host as always, Kyle Masters, and every week on the Lowdown Show, I'm joined by my corporate co-host. He is the blissful boss, Mr. Corporate himself, Corporate Cappy.
Hope you had a corporate Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
all I did was watch NXT.
I cleaned, played a little bit of Xbox, watched some NXT. I say it was a pretty productive Valentine's Day this year.
Yep, and I have a job interview tomorrow, much more important than any garbage holiday.
Yep, Corporate Cappy getting the corporate job interview. I just got a corporate job. Thank Christ. I've been looking for a nice corporate cushion job, and I finally got one. I went through a crucial, and I can't even describe how crazy of an interview process this was. I've never done it's called group interviews. I've never done that before. I did the first one last week, and that was crazy. It was very nerve-wracking. There's only 4 positions available, and there was 12 or 13 of us in the room, so the pressure was on. There's a lot of people in that room that actually had the job in the same company, but just tried a different position out. So, God, it was nerve-wracking as hell. But I got a phone call on Monday. So that was the best news on Monday. I got to get a phone call saying I got the job, but then I had to tune in to Raw at night and, watch garbage on television for 3 hours. So, it was a semi-good day on Monday. But, yes, corporate jobs on the way for both of us heading into corporate mania.
Yes, definitely needed for the funds for the Mania trip, that's for sure.
Yes, thank you, Tiff. And speaking of Tiff, let's look at the live chat. We got Tiffany from That Ass Podcast. What's going on, Tiffany, guys? Great relationship-based podcast. Go give them a follow. They're on YouTube as well. Go give them a follow on Twitter as well. Great stuff there. We got Glorious Greg, our 2017 fan of the year. What's going on, Glorious Greg? And we have
I said I had lunch with James Ellsworth today, Greg. Are you kidding me?
Is that real?
No, probably not, but...
Oh. Cuba Girl 125 is also here. Little Miss Trix is here, and she is not here for press questions about Velveteen Dream's greatness.
Oh, God, here we go. I knew that was coming.
But what's going on, guys, in the live chat? And if you guys are new or listening on the podcast, you can chat with us live in the air if you'd like to. Make a free app. Like I said before, Spreaker is a free app. You can download it, make a free app, and you can chat with us right here live on the air. Corporate Cappy types in. I type in once I can. I had the whole motherboard here that I got to keep control of, so it's hard for me to type in. But we chat with us live in the air. We read your thoughts out there during the podcast, and it's all interactive. So give us a download. Give us a follow, if you will, if you want to. You don't have to. You can do what you want.
You probably don't want to follow me. I'm a mark for some women.
You're a corporate mark.
I'm a mark I'm corporate for everything except 3 women. Like the softie for
Let's
those.
be real. Everyone's a mark. I hate when people sit there and oh yeah, you're a fucking mark, and it's like, okay, you are too. So what's your point? I don't understand who's not a mark. This guy right here, Trey Patterson, just joined the chat. This guy ain't a mark. He's Mr. Perfect. He's Mr. Perfect 2.0. Trey Patterson ain't no mark.
Yeah, well, it's the big show. I think that's what he's trying to say.
God. Anyways, guys, welcome to the Lowdown Show. If you guys don't know and you're new listening in, this is where we review NXT every single week, and we choose not to do the main roster because it's just completely dumpster fire nonsense that we don't need to review every week, or else we'd have aneurysms. So it's a good thing we don't. We have something to look forward to every week, and that's NXT, the real A show in our eyes, and it should be in your eyes. But we got a lot of corporate Kool-Aid drinkers out there that are accepting this mediocrity. It's not even mediocre anymore. It's literally been complete garbage in my eyes. I don't know how people are sitting there accepting this television, or, oh, you watch it anyway, just sit down and shut up and watch it. No. I didn't watch all of Raw this week. I didn't watch all of SmackDown this week because it's shit. I tune off. Yeah, I tune in to see, my favorite wrestlers, or maybe there's a chance that they finally see the light, because clearly out of all the news that's been coming out the last couple of days, WWE is finally seeing the light that we've seen for months on end. I pray that we finally see the light sometimes, and we don't, so I tune out.
Well, and we did not watch SmackDown last night, thank God, because it was an absolute trash fest.
That show last night, and I listened to a couple podcasts about it today, and I watched the highlight videos, and I'm going, my God.
I feel bad for any of you who had to sit through that.
How does that constitute as a television show? It's pure garbage.
Yeah, Bobby Roode coming out saying that he respects Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. Give me a fucking break here.
Yeah, Big E eating pancakes for some reason in a pancake eating contest.
We had the worst reasoning behind Dolph Ziggler's return that I've ever heard. It literally made no sense. They didn't talk about anything about him dropping the U.S. title and just walking out.
The women's division is god-awful on SmackDown.
It's Sarah Logan versus Charlotte, because I was very, very intrigued to watch Sarah Logan versus Charlotte this week.
Yeah, and we get the big 6-woman tag next week with Naomi and Becky. It's like Charlotte and Friends. It's like Roman on Raw and SmackDown, Charlotte and Friends.
The main roster is an absolute joke right now. There's no logic. There's logic gaps everywhere. So it's getting to a point now there's absolutely no logic. They're just throwing anything together to get through WrestleMania season, because now with the rumors coming out, so we first had the rumors of Backlash changing to a dual-branded pay-per-view, and now the rumors coming out today that they're going to do another brand split, and now there are rumors saying that they're going to do all fully dual-branded pay-per-views going forward. And there's actually talks of letting go of the brand split and not doing it anymore, just having both rosters on both shows again. No. And I have to reiterate myself, no. If you put both brands on the same roster, the main roster is done. It's completely, that's putting the coffin down, that's putting the nail on it, that's it.
We'll see the same 5 people every week, no matter what.
Where you might as well not even have a mid-card anymore. Say goodbye to everyone in the mid-card, because you're never going to get fucking TV time. The roster is way too big to have, or you're going to have people in the main slot not being even shown on TV. So say goodbye to those people if you think that getting rid of the brand split is an okay thing. There's a lot of people that I read today that said they'd be okay with it. I'm like, you are huffing too much paint if you think that a brand split or a non-brand splitted show every week is a good idea.
We saw how bad that was from 2013 to 2016.
Yes, please get your head checked if you think this is a good idea, because something's wrong with you. I'm telling you right now. I'm not crazy here. I'm not trying to be this Mark who just rants on everything and nothing's right with the company. I'm trying to get my opinion across, and I'm not saying that it's the right one. You should be listening to me, and I know everything. I don't. I'm just saying that to me it just seems more logical the ways that I explain things. You might not agree with it. You may agree with it. Just to me, the main roster right now, they're going backwards. They're not going forwards to make the company better or to make the product better. They're going backwards. So,
yep. And now that we got that out of the way,
we can talk about something actually that was good and something that gets us happy week by week, and that is NXT. NXT, just you sit there and you know you're going to have a good show. You're not sitting there going, fuck, what are they going to do this week that's going to piss me off? No. They put on great television, and I know it's only an hour, but it just fits. They keep the people that don't need to be on TV every week off, and they put the people that they have storylines lined up on TV this week, and they might not be there next week, but it feels better this way. I wish the main roster took pages out of what NXT does, because they would do so much better television than what we get on a fucking weekly basis on Raw and SmackDown. It's like Raw is 3 hours and it's too long, and then SmackDown's 2 hours and it's too short. So there's a problem there.
And it's like we always get like these throw-in garbage matches for the 3 hours of Raw. Like, I understand it's hard to fill 3 hours, but hopefully they go back to 2 hours when their contract ends, because the third hour of Raw is just absolutely nauseating.
I think the whole main roster is nauseating. I can't get behind anything right now on the main roster. Everything's just too obvious or poorly booked. Like they're putting this Elimination Chamber shit together. Like, who's sitting there thinking that someone else is going to win beside Roman Reigns? If you sit here and honestly think that someone else but now because they're adding 7 people in there, which is a fucking more of a clusterfuck because they screwed up and posted the poster early on WWE.com, so now they had to fix their mistake. If you think you're sitting there right now and you're thinking, I think maybe Seth Rollins could come out with this, it could make sense. No, or Braun Strowman, no. They do everything for Roman. Roman Reigns is winning this match, no matter fucking what. They'll make him look like he's going to be the first one eliminated. He's winning this match. If you think otherwise, again, you might as well get in line at the hardware store with the other guys that buy the paint, huff it, and then watch the fucking product and then say, oh, it's so good, I love this shit. No, absolutely not.
Michael Chow just stopped in, say hello. He's watching NXT now, so thank you, Michael Chow.
What's going on, Michael Chow? Sorry, caught me in the middle of a rant here.
I agree with Cupid Girl. I think 205 Live's getting there for me as far as getting excited for it every week, like NXT.
And I wonder why. I can't put my finger on it. I feel like I could see it in the distance. It's like a blurred phrase. No, that's not a phrase. It's 3 letters, but I can't really make it out. Is that an H? Yeah, it's an H. What's the second one? Oh, is that another H? Oh, wow, 2 H's. Oh, there's a third letter. It's another H! Holy shit, Triple H is the reason! Wow, shocker! Give me a fucking break.
I think Kevin Dunn's producing this good stuff on 205
Kevin
Live
Dunn's production, especially on SmackDown. SmackDown, they just fucking let that guy go nuts. Whatever fucking comes to mind, they're like, do it, Dunn. Get it done. Go, get your team on it. Do it. It sounds great, man. Put a bunch of fucking bubbly letters on the screen because a lot of people love that. Wouldn't you love watching SmackDown? Oh, I can't wait what the Usos are gonna say this weekend, and it'll fucking come blasting out of me in 3D on the fucking screen. Oh, I can't wait for that. That gets me excited for the Usos. I don't know about you out there.
It just looks so plain and rushed.
Yeah. So 7 people in the fucking chamber. Yeah, the shark cage. No, they're gonna start with 3 in the ring. Oh, you got Michael Cole spewing out a bunch of garbage for like a half hour while this is happening. Oh, this is interesting, guys. 3 people have never ever started in the chamber before. This is craziness. This is nuts.
First time ever.
And I don't know what's gonna happen. Cole, you want what's gonna happen? Roman's gonna fucking come out, Superman punch every goddamn guy in that ring, and then win the match. There you go. Don't even need to watch Elimination Chamber. I just saved you fucking 3 hours of garbage on a Sunday night.
How you mean? I don't know about you, but I'm excited to see the spear, man. It's like a finisher we'd never seen before.
I don't know how your corporate ass doesn't throw up after saying that. I'd puke if I believed myself in this thing. If I sat there and said that, even though I knew I was kidding, I'd throw up. I can't sit there and say it.
What the guy on Raw this week that was he must have been at least in his mid-20s or early 30s, and he was wearing a full-out Roman Reigns vest with the the arm sleeves and everything.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Wow. That guy is something else.
Bro. What Kool-Aid are you drinking? Is it Dunn flavored? Is it
Dunn flavored?
Is it P.S. Hayes flavored Kool-Aid? What is it, man? Bro, because you're drinking it. If you're sitting there dressing up like Roman Reigns at a fucking WWE event, get a clue, man. Yeah, you can sit there and get the AJ Styles gloves. That is what it is. No one's sitting there fucking wearing his tights in the crowd. But this fucking dude's got the vest and the arm thing. Holy shit, dude. Someone's never left Neverland Ranch yet.
I guess so.
Unbelievable.
I think we need to start reviewing the good show because now we're getting off track and we're starting to get angry when it should be a happy night tonight.
The A brand, and that is NXT. Oh, good show this week, and it was a jam-packed show. It was highlighted by 2 championship matches this week. We had the United Kingdom Championship between Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong being highlighted as going into that match and possibly being the first ever North American superstar to win a UK championship, or the UK championship. So that's something. I mean, a UK championship is not really that old, so I guess it was all right. And it was also highlighted by the NXT Women's Championship, which was the main event between Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon. We were kind of confused last week as to if they were going to have the match or not. They didn't really come out and say it, but looks like it was confirmed, so good for that. It ended up being a good match. We'll get into it when we talk about it, but we actually opened up with Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong, and that was interesting. I'm like, holy shit, we're actually opening up with the UK title match. And I was wondering how they were going to... I thought we were going to open up with the women's one, but they gave the women's one the main event slot, which is all right. It makes more sense because there's more of a story behind it. I mean, Roderick Strong, Pete Dunne was just a put-together match, and Roderick Strong won one number one contenders match that was put together as well. So, Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong. Crowd was very, very split down the middle for this, and there was actually a little bit more favoriting Pete Dunne. Really got over with the crowd this week. They're very, very behind Pete Dunne. I enjoyed this match. Really, really good back and forth match. Both guys giving it their all with a lot of spots to each other. The second half of the match was probably the best part. A lot of close endings, a lot of near finishes. Roderick Strong with that joint, Pete Dunne with that lot of joint manipulation in this match, and getting at one point Roderick Strong's fingers and like snapping them. They do it so well, and if you can have a good seller with that, then you know it's going to look more real. So
yeah, like it makes me cringe every time he kicks or like tries to like rip someone's like fingers apart, or kicks their wrist and stuff like that, stomps on it.
So there was a very, very close finish, and then once he got a hold of those fingers and snapped them, it caused Pete Dunne to get a hold of his finisher, the bitter end, and win and retain the match. This is great. I hope this is another sign that they're really looking at the UK title maybe being a mid-card title on NXT. I think we should get a lot more other North American people facing off against Pete Dunne and just officially making it the mid-card title. Maybe bring in some other UK people over to NXT, like they had Mark Andrews on 205 Live this week. Maybe he can join up on NXT. You can have Trent Seven come over, and just other people from that tournament. And people that are on the roster now, you can have Aleister Black, maybe transition into that later on down the line if he doesn't get called up after WrestleMania. So I think they should be keeping that as the mid-card title. They should. Even like a Ricochet, man, that'd be dirty. Like, that'd be insane. I could see a Ricochet maybe winning the title. So, I thought it was a good match. Well done by both. Sucks Strong did have a lot of finishes where we thought he was going to win. Like, there's a lot of near finishes. Lots. But good by your boy, Roddy Strong, for staying on top and holding his own in this match, that's for sure.
Yeah, he didn't look bad in the loss. That's a good thing. I don't know if he's getting called up to NXT or to 205 Live or what's going to happen there, but if this was his last NXT full-time match, it was definitely a good one.
Let's just hope he gets called up to that Savior. I guess we're going to call it the Savior brand. Like, that's literally where the NXT people that doesn't get a hold, or Vince doesn't get a hold of, gets their scapegoat and gets over to 205 Live and be pushed in a better way. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Cupid Girl saying, I hate to say, but Pete Dunne may have a good finger snap, but Marty Scurll is a way more brutal one. Yeah, I remember seeing that at Wrestle Kingdom. Marty Scurll's a big one with the king of joint manipulation. I think it goes back to the strong style British wrestling. They're all about that joint manipulation. So I can't wait to see what happens, man. Other than that, we moved on. They announced that Johnny Gargano and Almas for the title will happen next week, with that crazy, interesting stipulation that if Gargano loses the match, he has to leave NXT. So that is next week. That's going to be huge. They did a video package for it, the match came to be. I loved that they had the same team to make this promo video. I love the promo people on NXT to do such a good job. It looks like they've used the same people for 205 Live, because the promos that they showed on 205 Live have that same feel and that same kind of intensity. So I'm glad that Triple H also brought his production team from NXT to 205 Live. That's a big boost. So yeah, I can't wait for that match next week. It's going to be definitely an interesting match. I don't know if it's going to be as good as their TakeOver match, but I'm thinking it's going to be good on a level that like we just got between Strong and Dunn tonight. It's going to be like almost that level. So it'll be interesting to see how the match ends.
I don't know. I think there's going to be interference in this match, and like you said,
well, it's still going to be good.
It's going to be a non-sanctioned match.
Yeah, but I think the match is still going to be good. There could be interference, but leading up to that interference, it's still going to be a good match. It'll still be just like this Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong match. It's still going to be as good. It won't beat their TakeOver match, because that's like that's like the set bar right now for match of the year. I don't think anything's going to top that.
That's going to be the benchmark for matches this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I can't wait for that. That's going to be interesting to see. I get this gut feeling that maybe Ciampa shows up. I don't know how his knee is, because we saw him at TakeOver with his knee, and it was all braced up, right? And he had that big brace on. He's kind of limping away. I don't know if that was a sell job or not. So we'll see. Maybe he like appears on the screen and tries to distract Gargano. I don't know. Maybe something like that. We'll have to see. Next, we had the Velveteen Dream backstage. And I mentioned this to you while we were watching NXT. This whole like reporters thing they do backstage, they kind of make it feel like a sports feel, like how other athletes and other sports get like bombarded with the media about, and they just fire out questions and they're all holding their phones and microphones. Yeah. I like that they do that in NXT. I love that sports feel.
What do you mean? You didn't like it when Titus O'Neil and Titus Worldwide was trying to do it?
No. Who in their right mind would say yes to that?
Just saying it was Titus's idea.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. Probably the worst idea imaginable. Cupid thought. I think Johnny is gonna lose, but he'll come back on 205 Live. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I know he's got to have this match with Ciampa. It's got to happen. So maybe after that. But my guess, and I'm still sticking to the guess, is that Gargano is going to lose next week, and he's going to come back and have an unsanctioned match with Ciampa. That's the only way I see them doing this. So I doubt Johnny wins the title back. I doubt it. Anyways, the Velveteen Dream backstage with the reporters they're asking about his match next week against No Way Jose. So Velveteen Dream will be going one-on-one with No Way Jose next week, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, Velveteen Dream also talks about Tyler Bate and how when he mentioned, if you remember Tyler Bate's promo last week, he mentioned that he's here to stay in NXT and to have match of the years with like a Johnny Gargano and Aleister Black or a Velveteen Dream. So Velveteen Dream got mentioned that, and he hints at maybe like a possible feud with Tyler Bate. So that's interesting. I'd love to see a Tyler Bate and Velveteen Dream match. Can you imagine those two going at it? Holy crap. That's probably going to be at the WrestleMania TakeOver, man. The TakeOver New Orleans. I'd love to see Tyler Bate one-on-one with Velveteen Dream. I think it's gonna happen.
Oh God, stop, Cupid girl.
Velveteen doesn't need paparazzi or press to make him look famous.
Say my name.
Say my name.
I love how he just shoves the media scrum people out of the way and just says, "Make a lane, let me through. I'm done." It was well done. I really like it in Velveteen Dream lately.
He just plays that heel role so well. I love it. So yeah, I'm actually intrigued for a Velveteen Dream and Tyler Bate match. I think they could probably be one of the matches of the night for sure, man. Both those guys.
Plant that seed. I definitely would like that.
Yeah, plant that seed.
Yep.
So yeah, we moved on from that. We had Aleister Black making his. They didn't really say make his return. He just up next is Aleister Black. So when they came back from the little commercial break they do, Aleister Black is making his way to the ring, and he's got like this weird entrance. He's coming from like the other door of the arena, and I thought it looked pretty cool. And he's coming out in a suit. First time he's Aleister Black in a suit.
White smoke from the top coming down at him.
I think I remember him being in a suit before. I think it was in the feud with Velveteen Dream, I think. I get this feeling that I've seen him in a suit before. But anyways, he comes out.
Black suit, of course.
Yeah, an old black suit. He cuts a promo talking about his feud with Adam Cole. Yeah, he didn't really say, but undisputed, he said. So you know what he's talking about. But he says there's a devil on his back, and that devil is the NXT title. He gets interrupted by Killian Dane, of all people, and me and Cappy were talking about this while we were watching NXT, and we're guessing that it has to do with Lars Sullivan not being able to be on TV right now for whatever reasons, so they're going to switch to a Killian Dane versus Aleister Black feud, maybe until, I can't see them having a takeover match. This is going to be like an NXT show match, and then that's just going to lead to Aleister Black transitioning into the NXT title feud. So I doubt we're going to get anything more out of Killian Dane, or we're not going to get an extended feud between Killian Dane and Aleister Black. But I am very intrigued to see how this goes. He comes out, and it's the first time I think we've heard Killian Dane talk. So we get the big Irish or a big Scottish accent out of him. It says, "The devil isn't on your back. I am that devil." Says he won't stop until the NXT title is around his waist. Aleister Black gets in it. Killian Dane's face and says, now that you've crossed me, you must fade to black." And then they just have a stare down with each other as Killian Dane leaves. So very, very interesting here. Speaking of seed planted, Aleister Black and Killian Dane getting set up for a match.
Looks like Killian Dane's like breaking off into like he's still with Sanity, but he's going to be the singles guy of the group. It seems like.
Yeah,
I'm
wondering how the dynamic of this match is going to be like.
Well, we saw Killian Dane have a good match with Gargano at a live event, so.
Yeah, that's true. I think it'll be good.
I think Killian Dane is he can be, what's the word? I don't know, multi-talented.
Yeah. Oh man, the match with Gargano we saw, that was nuts, eh?
Yeah. They put on a good 20-minute match. I mean, at least I think Gargano is one of those guys that, has a great match with anybody. But I mean, if Killian Dane can hold his own in the match against him, I think him and Aleister Black will be a good match too. Because I mean, Aleister Black did face Velveteen Dream, who's a bigger guy. So I mean, he's not Killian Dane big, but he's still.
Trey Patterson, hashtag plant the seed.
Yep. Plant that seed, man.
Yeah. That's just going to be interesting. I can't wait to see. I'm actually very intrigued. Look at this. NXT making you intrigued. More interesting feuds, man. There's more. This feud outbeats anything SmackDown put together this week.
And I didn't see it coming either, which was good.
Great. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So we moved on here. We had TM61 having another tag team match versus two jobbers, or if you will, enhancement talents. So we thought we were hoping for our boys. Who are they again?
Chris Starr and Riley Apex.
Yeah, not getting their shots as of lately. We're kind of pissed off.
The Apex Stars.
Yeah, we might have to write a letter. John Schuyler this week and Andrew Duckworth.
Wow.
Some really credible names right there to be coming up against TM61. Right there. Especially Andrew Duckworth.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyways, it's basically another match to get TM61 back into the division and more showcased, as they didn't really have a good showcase last time they were around with the injury, and they kind of faced Authors of Pain in that one match, and that was pretty much it. So they're just trying to get the NXT crowd more fueled with TM61. I'm hoping this is going to lead into their finally them facing normal talents in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is rumored to be coming back. This is a decent match to hit their finisher, and that was pretty much it. Nothing really else much to say to this, but I'm excited for TM61 in the future, and let's hope the injury bug doesn't bite them. Knock on wood.
Yeah, again, because that would be devastating. Because we've seen the life of TM61, and we've gotten to know these guys, and the crowd's starting to get behind these guys now. So I think they need to carry this momentum. That's for sure.
Yeah,
because I don't think they've ever been as over as they are now.
Glorious Greg in the chat. John Schuyler and Andrew Duckworth versus Riley Apex and Chris Starr for the NXT tag titles. Match of the year. That would be match of the century. That'd be the greatest thing of all time. Yeah, they should. They should have a ladder match with the contract up there, like 2 contracts hanging up there, just for these guys. I'm gonna tweet William Regal. Let's see if we can get it done. Maybe for NXT St. Catharines, give us a little treat down there. You don't have to have it taped. Just give us a treat down there. I'd be going nuts.
Right.
I would mark out if that happened.
Chris Starr and Riley Apex.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got Shayna Baszler versus Ember Moon for the main event for the NXT Women's Championship. They kind of updated Shayna Baszler's theme a little bit. I think it sounds more edgier and more to her style, so I kind of love that. Ember's arm was heavily taped with KT tape or Rockport or Rock tape, whatever the fuck it's called. Very, very heavily taped. You can barely see. Like it really almost covered her whole arm. It looks like she's wearing a sleeve. Both were chirping at each other and jawing at each other and like angry stare down during the introduction. You know how they turn all the lights off and they're just staring down with each other. You can really feel the intensity out of these two while they're doing the introduction. So Ember Moon just came out of the gate firing, just going nuts on her, going ham. Huge bottom rope suicida, like our boy Ronaldo, top rope suicida.
And Ember Moon sold the arm spot really well off the announce table.
No, it's good, man. Her screams are just like you think they're real. She does a really good job at selling an injury, man. That goes a long way in wrestling, so good for her. Shanna gets Ember back into the ring, starts working on her arm. She throws her into the ring post. And there was that huge joint manipulation spot, so Shayna doesn't, doing a lot of that.
Working on the injured arm, I love it.
There's the one spot where she like put her arm in the barricade, like they ripped the cloth off and like she was like kicking at it and like pulling it through the barricade. Really, like, Shayna's just a badass, and the way that she presents herself in the ring and how she's just like going nuts on you in the match, and she's just the ultimate badass. I love it. I love how they're presenting Shayna Baszler.
And I was interested to see what they were going to do with this match because I thought there was no way Shayna could lose again, but then I also thought there's no way Ember could lose the title on just a regular episode of NXT.
Right, and what we got, I called it. I'm like, I guarantee there's going to be some sort of interference on Shayna Baszler. They're not going to end the same way. It's not going to be a DQ, or it's not going to be Shayna getting a count out. It had to be interference, and coming out of the crowd, Kairi Sane, right on cue, and then beating the shit out of Shayna Baszler, causing the disqualification, and making Shayna Baszler run for the hills. And they have a stare down with Kairi Sane in the ring with Shayna Baszler. Some unfinished business between those two. And Shayna walks to the back as Kairi Sane is helping Ember Moon up and walking her to the back as the show ends. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And Kairi Sane hits a Roman Reigns-esque spear.
Yeah, that spear she hit on Shayna Baszler. Damn.
Nah, it was no Roman spear. But
anyways.
But yes, I mean, so that means that Kairi Sane costs Shayna Baszler the title shot, so I'm interested to see if they give her another shot at the title, or if it's going to be like a triple threat or something at TakeOver New Orleans.
I'm sensing a triple threat. I think that's what they're going for. Either that, or I doubt they're going to have Ember versus Shayna again one-on-one, like a rubber match. I doubt it. I think Kairi Sane's going to be in the match involved somehow. I think it's going to be a triple threat. I can definitely see a triple threat between these three girls.
I agree, and I think that's perfect time for Shayna to win the title, to be honest.
Yeah. WrestleMania weekend. I can see it. And then they can do this whole thing backstage with Ronda at WrestleMania. Like she's waiting in the locker room, and you have Shayna walk in with her new NXT Women's title belt, encouraging Ronda for her match. I could
definitely see that for sure. That's something that they would do.
Yeah. So we'll see, but I'm liking the way the women's direction is going on NXT, because clearly the main rosters, both women's division, have no fucking vision or direction right now. You don't know what the hell's going on with their division, so who knows?
Oh, terrible. But another good taping this week. I don't know how many tapings are doing it. Is this the last taping from the? No,
there's one more week or 2 more weeks, I believe. So. We'll see what happens. Other than that, we're going to the next part of the show, and that is the list of 10.
10.
You know what? You know what happens? You know what's going to happen? You just made the list.
That's right. Welcome to the list of 10, and that's that part of the show where myself and Corporate Cappy have our favorite moment or superstar of the week that makes the list, or gets a perfect 10 rating. And as always, we will start with Corporate Cappy.
Before we get into that, I guess there was no mention of Undisputed Era this week, or Sanity, really, besides
that's
Killian
right.
Dane.
That's right.
So,
they didn't mention Gargano and Almost, but we didn't see them either. So it's tough when you have so many things going on in NXT. You can't really shove everything into one show. So we know that they do there's the odd week where they can't fit everyone on the show and they want to get everything else across. So
it just goes to show they don't need to have their main title on the show every week,
exactly.
unlike main roster.
Yeah. Well, SmackDown does because they have no excuse for a 2-hour show, but then you don't have your WWE champion appear or the number one contender. That's pretty sad. That's like your main focus of the show.
Yeah, but
you have nothing else.
NXT doesn't even have that, and they still do well.
Yeah, it's because they have everything. It's because everything is intriguing. There's not one boring feud. SmackDown, they literally just put all the boring shit on SmackDown this week that they think is good, but it's not. And they kept all the good stuff off of SmackDown. You can't do that. If you have something good on SmackDown and you're a 2-hour show, you have to keep it on a weekly basis because you don't have enough good shit to make a 2-hour show good. So you can't start leaving shit off the show. It is what it is.
And then Raw's a whole nother story. You got friggin' Brock Lesnar not even on TV. So, anyways,
list of 10. Let's go.
My 10 moment this week is gonna go to. I can't believe I'm saying this, but 205 Live, and it's gonna go to the Tony Nese and Drew Gulak match from last night.
Hey,
that was a very good match, and hell, look at NXT. I keep saying NXT because I put it in the same category as 205 Live lately. Because 205 Live's the last 3 weeks has been fantastic between Drake Maverick, Drew Gulak, and Tony Nese. I love Drake Maverick. He's hilarious. I think he's a great GM.
Boy, Rockstar Spud.
Yeah, I think he's doing a great job. So, shout outs to him. But Gulak and Nese put on like a 20-minute match, and I feel bad that they were in wherever Cricketville, USA was this week for SmackDown taping. But this was a very good match. It was probably longer than I've ever seen a Gulak and Tony Nese matches combined. Tony Neat. He's actually Nese. He wasn't Neat this week. He was Nese this week. It was a really, really good match, and there was a lot of near falls. And like I said, it went on for about 20 minutes, and I thought it could have gone both ways, but Gulak ended up picking up the victory in the end, and it looks like he's dropping the whole better 205 Live thing for now because he turned into like this ruthless, psychotic Drew Gulak near the end of the match and was just kicking the living shit out of Tony Nese, and he ended up making him pass out with I forget what the hell it was called, but it was like a dragon submission hold. It was crazy, but 205 Live continuing to get better with this cruiserweight tournament that you actually get excited for because it's actually building towards something, and they're showing like even the promos backstage are showing both guys before the matches and stuff. Like it just feels so much more real than the crap they were showing for the last year and a half of this show. So for Drew Gulak and Tony Nese continuing to build from this cruiserweight title tournament and the whole 205 Live in general.
10.
Gets my perfect 10 for sure.
Yeah.
So hats off to them because even a Tony Nese and Drew Gulak match, like if that match happened on Raw, like you'd be like, all right, this match is going to be god awful. Now that they're actually using 205 Live and the way it's supposed to be used, I think a lot of these guys are going to get more over now, not having these garbage characters and hiding behind Enzo and the Zoe train. So.
Yeah. Our boy Trey Patterson says Gulak is the best. Gulak number 1.
Oh, don't get me started on that. I'm gonna get into that in a minute.
Yeah. And then Tiffany says, I used to see Tony Nese wrestle in Long Island. Nice guy. Oh, so she's met Tony Nese before.
He's a Long Island guy. I was gonna ask her about that. He's always from Long Island, New York.
Anyways, my first moment. It's actually a list moment. Shocker. And I wonder what it. I wonder what it's going to. Yeah, nothing. Anyways, it's a list moment. It's going to the booking of this Elimination Chamber. It's just fucking terrible. What we got this week makes me scratch my head at the decision making. It's literally a boardroom full of monkeys. It's a boardroom full of monkeys, Vince and Kevin Dunn. Because right now, I don't know what logic they have booking this crap. I don't know how they can sit there and say, "Well done, everybody. We did a good job." Because really, no. You basically just showed us how lazy you guys can fucking be. Okay, so let me get this straight about Seth Rollins here. Because he got you can't really say he got screwed, but because Jason Jordan got hurt and is unable to compete with him in the tag team division, he's automatically added to this chamber. He automatically gets a shot to get into the chamber. Meanwhile, Finn Balor had to crawl to get that fucking spot. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I guess Rollins is trying to play the card to angle that his son screwed him over in the tag match.
And the worst part is, this week, what we got at the end of that stupid Fatal 5-Way match, what is their fucking infatuation with Fatal 5-Ways, man? They always like to do multiple people in the ring at once. They gotta stop. It's not all about multi-man matches. Like, WWE has this sick infatuation with multi-people matches. Anyways, so you had Bray Wyatt, the eater of L's again. He's the one taking the pin here. Shocker.
Double pin.
Double pin. He gets double pinned by Rollins and Finn Balor. Sorry, Tiff. Gets okay. That's not even the worst part. If you guys go back and watch the replay, the referee is clearly seeing that both guys are pinning Bray Wyatt at the same fucking time, but yet continues to keep counting. And then when he gets up, he acts all oh, what the hell just happened? I'm so confused. Like, he's acting like someone just smacked him in the head with a chair and he has no idea where the fuck he is. What? You just watched the guys cover the guy at the same time, and you still chose to count. Why don't you stop and say, no, guys, that's not how shit gets done here. No, he's gonna... Why, is all of a sudden now, in multi-man matches, you're allowed to pin the guy twice at the same time? Is this just a new rule? What the fuck is this? They literally think we're idiots out there. That's pathetic. I can't believe we got that. Now there was like confusion, and then Kurt Angle, all of a sudden Kurt Angle comes out and says, okay, both guys get added to the chamber. Problem solved. We're doing a first ever 7-man chamber match.
Or
because
we just had Rollins versus Finn next week on Raw.
Why couldn't you just fucking had something better? What if you just had Seth Rollins this week go one-on-one with Finn Balor, winner gets to be added to the chamber, and you just had fucking, I don't know, maybe Braun Strowman, because no, you had him come out with a fucking giant guitar this week for whatever fucking, or a giant bass, because, that made him look great. No, why didn't you have him come out during Seth and Finn's match and just fucking lay both of them out, saying, none of you guys are added to the chamber because that chamber is mine and I'm going to win that chamber? You know what I mean? Why wasn't Braun Strowman used to make himself look better or look stronger than his other chamber combatants? He did it against Elias because, Elias is a real fucking test against Braun Strowman. Because,
Elias is coming in last, so... No,
I didn't see the point of this, and they literally just, it was like, it's just laziness. All of a sudden, the day later, oh yeah, we're gonna both, you know what, we'll just add them both to the match. Big controversial ending to Raw, leaving everyone confused, and then they just said, oh fuck it, we'll just add both of them to the match. It's just laziness. Who cares? Like, what gets me excited for this? Nothing. Because Roman, ultimately, they're doing all this for Roman to win anyways. So why do I give a flying fuck? They're doing nothing to get me excited about any other competitor winning this match. Because you know why? They haven't said one peep about fucking Roman Reigns in this whole build for the Elimination Chamber. So for all of that pile of hot garbage this week...
You know what? You just made the list!
Unbelievable. Main roster can shove it. Plain and simple. That's all I got to say. What is your next moment?
You didn't even. Did you even give it the list moment yet?
Yeah, I did it. You just can't hear it.
Oh, I was looking at the chat. I didn't realize you did it. All right. So my 10 I already did my 10 moment. My list moment this week. Oh my god, I don't even want to talk about it. It's so bad. I'm so glad we didn't get to watch this live, but I did go back and watch it. And it was a waste of my time going back and watching it. As much as I love this guy, my lord, is he ever cringe on SmackDown as a face. The Bobby Roode United States Open Challenge. Wow.
Yep.
What in the fuck was this? So you have Bobby Roode come out, and he was an open challenge. We're supposed to get an actual wrestling match, like back in the day when John Cena used to have the U.S. Open Challenge, and AJ Styles used to have it. So we get Randy Orton coming out after RKOing him last week because that was so exciting. And then you have Bobby Roode saying, I respect you, Randy Orton. What? The guy just RKO'd you last week, and you're gonna come out this week and say that I respect the guy? Where's the Bobby Roode from NXT that didn't give a fuck about anybody else and didn't respect anybody?
Told you, I told you, I can't get behind face Bobby Roode. It's just completely garbage, and this week fully proved how bad he is as a babyface.
Not to mention, if the segment couldn't get any better, we had Jinder Mahal come out. We had
ratings boost.
Yep, we had the charisma
vacuum,
the charisma generator, Jinder Mahal come out.
Generator, right, because fucking all ratings went through the roof when Jinder Mahal came out. No, they didn't, because everyone was fast asleep because you can't hear a fucking word the guy says.
Hey, this is my moment. Stay out of it. So, then you have Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal start bickering at each other for whatever fucking reason. And Orton, makes fun of Jinder for not being on the top 10 list. Orton wasn't even on the top 10 list either. So I don't know what he's trying to bitch about, because we all know the whole SmackDown list of 10 garbage is terrible to begin with, and it's lost all credibility in 1 week. So then we didn't even have a match. And I don't even know what it's going for me. We're going to have a triple threat between, oh my God, Randy Orton, Jinder Mahal, and Bobby Roode. Give me the crickets for that, please.
There they are. Oh.
So,
I wish we had a puke sound, because that makes me want to throw up.
We go from Orton and Mahal, because, they had such a great feud last year for the WWE title. Let's put them with face Bobby Roode in a triple threat for the U.S. title. Wow. I'm already saying this could be a candidate already for worst match of the year. This could already be an early candidate if they end up doing this match.
And it's sad with the people in the ring. It just shows
just
you.
Like you said, with the multi-person matches, we got a triple threat, a fatal 5-way, and a 7-man elimination chamber. Like, let's tone it down, man.
Yeah. Why do they have to have multi-people matches? Clearly, you know what it shows? It shows they don't know what to do with the roster that they fucking have. So that's why the rumors coming out that's saying, fuck it, let's just put everyone together, because we have no idea how to handle. How do they not know how to handle it? Because the brand split would be the way. If you have everyone on the same roster, that's not going to work, because now you're going to be even more fucking confused. When you have the brand split, it should be easier to control stuff, but for some reason, they can't get a grasp on how to control or book anyone right. It's terrible.
So, yes, for that U.S. Open Challenge never starting, and planting the seed for this, I wish they would, throw the seeds away for this match. This triple threat, whatever we're going to get out of this crap. And Bobby Roode saying he respects Randy Orton, and just the whole segment was cringe. And for that...
You know what? You just made the list!
God.
Horrendous. Absolutely. Yeah. There was no excuse for how bad this segment was last night. Wow. So, are you ending with a 10 or what?
No. Of course, I'd give an honorable mention 10 to NXT this week and how good it was, because it's good every week. But my moment this week is another list moment, and it's solely going to... I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank.
SmackDown.
They're both getting that. It's just the list moment in general goes to. Like, I can give it to SmackDown's made-up top 10 list that they never followed. They've just thrown in the garbage. They made such a big deal about this SmackDown top 10 list, and they're going to stick to it and give those people opportunities. Meanwhile, Ty Dillinger is at number 10, and we haven't seen him on fucking TV for 2 weeks. Since you've come out with this list, where the fuck has Ty Dillinger been? Does that make any sense? No. We'll give the opportunities to Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler, who were just fucking, again, added to the match because they won against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for whatever reason. Like, we had to have both those assholes beat those guys to be added to the WWE title match. How does that make any sense? What is the point of a SmackDown Live top 10 list if you're not going to follow it? Don't even bring it up anymore. It's clearly just a failed attempt to get people excited for SmackDown because they didn't follow it. It took literally a week, and it's already in the trash. Unbelievable. You want to see a good top 10 list? Go to mine on the YouTube channel, guys. Go to mine. It's live everywhere on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and YouTube. Go to my Kyle Masters top 10 list. There, I'll give you a fucking real top 10 list and what they should do and actually use it. But no, we gotta get their garbage one. They have Randy Orton at number 9 because he fucking deserves to be a number 9 when he just shows up once in a while and RKO someone. Oh, number 9, 100%. He just showed up and RKO'd someone. Fuck, put him on the list. Unbelievable.
I think Jinder should have been number 1, but
Anyways, just awful. And for this made up SmackDown Live top 10 list, it's completely useless now.
You know what? You just made the list.
That's right. Makes a list. And
I think an honorable mention has to go to the women's division on both shows right now.
there's nothing that's going to get me excited for any women's division match. They're highlighting Ronda Rousey and her fucking contract signing at Elimination Chamber. Woohoo! And they have
Nia versus Asuka, because that makes sense.
Charlotte facing each member of the Riot Squad week after week, clearly showing that they have no idea what the fuck can do right now. So they're just gonna have her face one by one each member until they figure something out. If they're going to tease that Asuka could be choosing Charlotte, why not have Charlotte be really dominant and take no prisoners every goddamn week, looking like the strongest women's champion they have in the company? No, we have her squashing the Riot Squad or looking weak because these Riot Squad people have been actually putting up contending matches with Charlotte for whatever reason. And now I bet you they're going to make her face Ruby Riott and maybe almost win the championship from Charlotte at Fastlane. I guarantee it. Because, that makes Charlotte look very credible to face Asuka. That's going to get me excited for that. Awful. They're booking both champions like garbage. Makes me not care about the division. Both of these 3 women stables suck ass. There's nothing that's going to get me excited for any of them. The whole women's division is complete trash. I do not care. Do not care.
You don't care about the possible Sasha Bailey thing? Because, that was great.
That's literally the only thing. But, they just did the match, and now they're fucking, being all lovey-dovey to each other on Twitter. It's like, give me a break, man. You're going to make me yak even more. Just complete garbage nonsense. Main roster is absolutely terrible. I've sat here and I've watched it week after week, but now it's getting really bad. Now it's getting to the point where I'm watching minimum 20 to 25 minutes of each show and then saying fuck it, I'm not watching any more of it.
Max 25 minutes.
It's getting that bad.
Or the Big E having a pancake eating contest this week,
because we really needed that. We really needed Big E to have a pancake eating contest on a show, because that's quality wrestling. That's what I want to see in a wrestling show. I want to see the wrestlers go out there and have pancake flipping contests and eat fucking pancakes. Yes, give me more of this, please. Garbage, absolute garbage. Dumpster fire.
I'm so sad we didn't review Raw and SmackDown this week.
I can't. I know you're joking. I can't do it. I can't even joke about it, how bad it is. I'm sorry, I can't. It's so bad.
Well, maybe we should get onto the tweets then.
We will. We'll get it to your tweets out there. I'm just pulling it up on my cell phone because they weren't pulling up on my laptop for some reason. Here we go. We will start with Cuba Girl 125 and her tweets. She puts, "Who do you think can beat Dunn?" Oh, sorry. Cuba Girl 125 is our Twitter fan of the month for the month of January, so she gets her special shout out. So shout out to you, Cuba Girl 125. And guys, if you want to win Twitter fan of the month of February, all you have to do is interact with us on the chat or on Twitter, and you're automatically entered. Everyone is acceptable, no matter what. You can say one word, you automatically entered. So thank you, Cuba Girl, and being our fan of the month for January. Shebas, who do you think can beat Dunn for the UK Championship? I'm thinking maybe Aleister Black or maybe a Ricochet.
Are we talking about Kevin Dunn or Pete Dunn?
No, Pete Dunn.
No. Okay.
Kevin Dunn will lose to a beaver.
He is a beaver.
Anyways, I could see Ricochet maybe. I'd love to see a Ricochet and Pete Dunne match.
Yeah, of course you'd say Ricochet.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Of course I'd say Ricochet. It's true. Who do you see?
That guy every week.
Who do you say? Tell me. That's what I thought. No, you don't have a clear-cut, straight-up answer. I already have my answer. It's Ricochet because no one else looks credible to beat Pete Dunne because this guy just puts up match after match after great match. And we had the ones with Tyler Bate. Just had this one with Roderick Strong, which is great. That was actually a really fantastic match this week. Roddy definitely could have been a contender for it, but now I think they're going to be pushing him more with 205 Live, which is good. They need another boost for 205 Live. They have their guys up there, but I think Roderick Strong actually brings a hell of a lot more to that division than, say, another cruiserweight like Tozawa or something. But if looking at all
Gargano
signs,
wasn't leaving NXT, I think he would have been a good challenger for it.
for the UK title, yeah, I could see that.
I mean, they already had the one match in the pre-show of Takeover. I don't remember what episode it was, but I would love to see them go at it again.
I think Gargano and Dunn actually would probably be a contender. Even Ricochet and Dunn, they would be the next people to set the bar to try to reach Almas and Gargano. That'd be the next set to try to get at least to that point. But it'll be interesting to see how long Dunn is going to hold this championship for, because this guy's held it on for a long time. Like, he's held it on since last May. I think that was TakeOver Chicago. So he's been defending in indie promotions all over the world. So we'll see.
My thing is, he doesn't deserve to lose it. He doesn't deserve to lose it. Somebody's got to be better than him.
Exactly.
And right now, nobody's good enough to just give them the title. That's what I like. They don't just give someone the title because, let's see this guy run with it. No, this guy deserves to keep it, so that's why we're keeping it on him. Until someone steps up to the plate and takes it from him, then he deserves to hold on to it.
Right. So thank you for that.
Cuba Girl says EC3, maybe.
I want EC3 and Velveteen Dream. I think those guys can have a good match and actually a good build. That'd be great. She puts, who do you think should be called up after WrestleMania? My picks are AOP, Iconic, and maybe Drew McIntyre when he comes back from injury. Yeah, I can see those three. I think without those three,
Drew McIntyre called up again. We already saw what Dumpster Fire happened to that. I want him to stay in NXT.
Do you think it would happen the same way?
Well,
he's come a long way since the last one. Yeah, it's true. We'll see. But I think as for AOP, Iconic, for sure.
AOP is going to be Roman's bodyguards.
Yeah. Let's be real here. Roman's going to get his own security team after he beats Brock for the title at WrestleMania. It's going to be AOP. Guarantee. My final question is about 205 Live. Do you think that putting the UK men on the show is a good idea or a bad idea? I think for now it's a good idea because people don't know much about the UK division. It's a good way to showcase them. I like that. And that's a good answer because that's two UK guys I've used so far, Tyler Bate and now this week Mark Andrews. So I think it's a good way to get them showcased. Get
them some TV time.
The British Strong Style Wrestling is one of my favorite, and it's great. If you watch that UK tournament, there were some epic matches in there. So I really hope they use more of them in this tournament or even on NXT for that matter. So yeah, I think it's a good idea, Cupid Girl. So thank you for your questions and your thoughts out there. Next, we actually have late tweets coming in by Michael Chow. He puts I missed NXT, but he's watching it right now. He says, if you had to choose, would you rather have NXT to be a 2-hour show or have an NXT pay-per-view every month? Ooh, ouch. That's
I don't know. We always say we want NXT to be 2 hours, but I mean.
That's tough, though. If you had to pick one or the other, that's such a tough question. Oh, man.
I don't want to see a preview every month.
Yeah, me either. I think that would be just overkill. I'd put it NXT 2 hours. I think maybe they can do a lot with 2 hours. Maybe end it at like the hour and 40-minute or hour and a half mark sometimes.
Yeah, they don't even have to go the full 2 hours. They don't need to.
Yeah, I'd pick 2 hours for sure. A month, pay-per-view every month would just be way overkill, and it just ruin the aura of TakeOver. Like, you get a better excitement and a better feel for TakeOver when they come around like once every 3 months. Like, it just feels more exciting and less rushed.
And it gives them
main roster
to make builds.
Hint, hint.
Yeah, and plus they don't show everybody on TV every week like they do on the main roster, so they kind of have to take a longer time to build because they're not on every week.
He actually has another question here. He puts, since NXT superstars have been appearing on 205 Live, would you like to see the reverse with 205 Live stars wrestling in NXT? Which type of dream matches would you like to see? Cedric Alexander versus Cien Almas. Or these are his picks. Almas and Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali and Johnny Gargano, and TJP and Aleister Black. Whew. All three of those matches are incredible, and I'm going to add them to the YouTube show that's going to be coming out soon on our YouTube channel, guys, so stay tuned for that. So I'm going to add those to it.
To me, it just seems like if you're going to, I don't know, they don't have enough time to fill those guys in.
Yeah. But maybe slowly transition them over the next couple months. Maybe one of them comes over and starts something. I'd love to see that. I think it gets, and then it gets more of the NXT people to keep their eyes on 205 Live. You know what I mean? You get the vice versa thing here. So
yeah, maybe have like feuds go on between both shows type thing.
I like that. So it's like its own Raw and SmackDown, 205 Live and NXT. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One's the other brand, one's the first brand. I know NXT obviously is superior, but
to me, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
So I like NXT the way it is, but again, those are good ideas, but I don't know. It's so good right now that I don't want to change anything. I don't want them to screw it up like the main roster.
And lastly, who would you say was the greatest NXT call-up, and who was the worst? My picks are greatest Seth Rollins and worst Bo Dallas, and he's got a gif of Bo Dallas doing the Bo Leave thing and then getting fucking KO punched by Big Show.
Well, I mean, our boy Ty Dillinger, I mean, right now, like, what was the point of his call-up?
I think that's the worst one. I'd vote that too. I think the greatest NXT call-up so far, not to be biased, but Kevin Owens. If you look at what he's done since the call-up, he had that epic feud with John Cena right after he got called up, winning the U.S. title and then still holding on to the NXT title, and then he lost to Finn Balor later on. And what he's done since then, he became the first ever Universal Champion. He won that Universal Championship for the first time on Raw in that crazy ending match. And he's won the Intercontinental Championship. He had that Festival of Friendship with Chris Jericho. I think you combine everything he's done since being called up, I think so far it's a really strong tie with Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins got that authority pick. So I'm going to go with Kevin Owens. Just combining everything he's done so far.
I think he's created the most controversy, that's for sure, with his feuds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think Jinder Mahal counts, so I can't put him as the best call-up so far.
Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, you said Rollins and KO, so I'm going to say Alexa Bliss. So,
okay.
I mean, you look at, she wasn't really much in anything in NXT, and then when she got called up, she was great she made that women's SmackDown roster great. And then she moved over to Raw, won the Raw Women's title, and she's still holding the title. She's trying to pull this woman card about defending it, and I don't know how I feel about that. But she's definitely become one of the faces of the Raw and SmackDown, or the whole main roster women's division, which she was nothing close to that in NXT. So I'd say she definitely had the most progression, and one of the only few call-ups that have actually done better on the main roster than they did in NXT, which is hard to say for a lot of people.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael Chow, for your tweets. We got actually a tweet from Tiffany. So she puts here, I'm finally tweeting to the show.
Oh, finally!
Who would be your perfect match for the UK title belt?
Does Pete Dunne have to be in the match?
Just because we kind of answered it, let's not do Pete Dunne. If you do, we don't have to include Pete Dunne if we don't want to.
That's tough. I'm thinking on the spot right now. I'm trying to think of the cruiserweight division. Because Aleister Black count?
Yeah, you can do Aleister Black.
I'll say Aleister Black versus Roderick Strong.
Okay, that'd be a good one. I like that. I'm gonna have to keep Pete Dunne in it, so I would keep Pete Dunne, and QBO kind of got half of it right for me. I pick Pete Dunne and Almas. I kind of want to see those guys go at it. I know it sucks because they're both kind of heels, but I'd love to see Almas and Dunne. For some reason, I just got a feeling that both those guys can put an epic match together, and we saw how epic Almas can put up a match against Gargano. I want to see Pete Dunne and Almas. It's a weird pick, but I think that'd be literally mine that I want to see first, number one. It's weird. It's really out there, but I don't know. I just want to see both those guys go at it. Our boys Trey Patterson in the chat putting Prime Regal versus Aleister Black.
Yeah, but I don't think we're really counting people in the past.
Yeah.
Here.
Cuba Girl puts Ricochet versus Almas. That'd be a sick match. That'd be insane.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Ricochet, to be honest.
Yeah, because I didn't want you. I don't want to hear from you. I was actually going to pick Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, but I never heard the end of it from you because that'd be a freaking insane match.
Your two favorites. I mean, that's a good match. I could get behind that.
Like, I just think about this because they're both the same guy. Cedric Alexander and Ricochet have basically. I think Ricochet has a little bit more skill than Cedric Alexander, but these guys are like. I think those are the two guys that could click in the ring, build a lot of chemistry in the ring against each other, kind of like Omega and Okada did in New Japan. I think those guys would be the two guys. Yeah, that's interesting. So those are our, I guess, their fantasy matchups for the United Kingdom Championship. Next set of tweets come from our 2017 Fan of the Year. That's right, it goes to a glorious Greg. He won our 2017 Fan of the Year, and he gets his own theme song and a shout-out every time we read his tweets right here on the Lowdown Show. And if you guys want to win the 2018 Fan of the Year, all you have to do is interact with us once on Twitter or on the chat on Spreaker, and you're automatically entered to win Twitter Fan of the Year. But if you keep tweeting and you keep chatting with us and you keep interacting, the more chances you get to win the Twitter Fan of the Year, and you get to choose your own theme song, and they have it played before every one of your tweets. Yeah, it sucks. But anyways, getting to his tweets, he puts, man, Strong versus Dunn for the UK title was glorious. Hope they duke it out one more time at TakeOver. That'd be okay. Do you think they can do a rematch? That'd be interesting. If Roderick Strong doesn't have a feud right now, or if he's not being heavily used on 205 Live, a rematch would be insane. Have them go. Yeah. He puts Killian Dane versus Aleister Black at TakeOver is most likely. My God, NXT, take my money and my soul and take notes, main roster. And also, Kairi Sane tonight looking mighty fine. Yeah, she is cute. That's gonna be an interesting match, I think.
It's an interesting dynamic because Killian Dane's just so huge. But again, who do you think comes out on top of that feud? Probably Aleister Black, I would say, has to come out on top there.
Yeah, if he's gonna be pushing to the main title, I'd say yes.
We got the Irish versus the Dutch in this match, so.
He also puts, I believe Johnny will win next week by DQ, leading to one more match at TakeOver, possibly where he wins the title and then is attacked by Ciampa, setting up Gargano versus Ciampa for the title finally. Glorious Greg ideas. Now that's interesting. That's interesting. Maybe Ciampa is not ready to go by TakeOver New Orleans. Johnny wins, but he wins by DQ next week, meaning he still gets to stay on NXT. And then it sets up a match between him and Almas for the title finally at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. They do another epic match, and then that's where Johnny finally wins. And then maybe Ciampa attacks him again after when he wins the title again, just adding more fuel to the fire. And that's when they build all the way to TakeOver Brooklyn in the final payoff match for the NXT title. That is a crazy idea.
It's like Christian and his one more match thing for the world title.
Yeah. But that's a very, very good idea. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, did they do something drastic next week on just a regular episode of NXT like that, where Gargano leaves NXT?
Oh, man, it's so tough. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm still gonna go. I'm sticking with mine that I think it makes more sense of an unsanctioned match, just because of the feud between Gargano and Ciampa. I think they need an unsanctioned match, but that's getting me thinking now. I think maybe Johnny Gargano does pull it off by DQ next week, and that's how they get the little swerve around the him staying on NXT's roster. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. But thank you, Glorious Greg. Very, very interesting. Keeping us thinking here. Glorious Greg, man. Thank you for your tweets this week and being our 2017. Yeah. So interesting. God.
I can't wait for next week for that match.
Next week is going to be a must-tune-in show, ladies and gentlemen. Do not want to miss next week's
SmackDown,
NXT.
with that 6-woman tag. Wow. So excited for that.
Just because of what they have announced for next week's Raw and SmackDown, I might miss both. I might tune in for 5 minutes, but I'm not going to be upset if I make plans and miss both shows next week because I don't care.
There's no show for which one? Elimination Chamber or Fastlane?
I think it's Fastlane. So
either
whatever.
one. Who fucking cares?
Yeah. Who cares about the pay-per-views? But as I mentioned before, about YouTube, I already got the videos downloaded. I'm going to be doing some video editing, but I'm trying to find a day when I'm going to be doing it. But the very first episode of WWE Main Event, no, not the Main Event show you know and love that appears every Friday night and shows garbage matches. No. This is a revamped Main Event, and basically, guys, it's going to be a YouTube show, and it's going to be on WWE 2K18. I'll be commentating it. It's going to be a 3-match show, and it'll be all Main Event caliber matches, not WWE Main Event, but Main Event meaning stellar matches, all like epic fantasy matches each and every week on this show, and it'll be done live on YouTube Live, and I'll be commentating over it on YouTube Live. So I'm still figuring out a date when I'm going to do it and doing a little bit more editing, so stay tuned for that. That's coming to the channel, and unboxing is going to be coming soon to the channel. I'm still waiting on this one thing in the mail I won from the Royal Rumble, still waiting on it to come in. There'll probably be some more unboxings later on being added to the YouTube channel as well, and video versions of the podcast, so stay tuned for that. So a lot of good stuff coming to the podcast, guys. Stay tuned and bear with us here as we get all this stuff out and also dealing with our daily lives. Again, like we said in the beginning of the show, myself and Corporate Cappy each getting some corporate jobs or trying to get into some corporate jobs right now, right before Mania, and getting that corporate dough for Mania. So it's in the works, so just bear with us as this goes on. So other than that, it's a good show this week. Good show.
Yeah. All I'm going to end with, Lana is the best, Lana number one. Lana is the best, Lana number one.
All right.
I'm sorry, I had to say that.
I'm going to go into the outro because of that. I'm done listening to this shit. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening in on the Lowdown Show, episode 90. We are 10 episodes away from the 100 episode of the Lowdown Show right here on No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, your wrestling podcast that talks about the WWE and NXT and No Holds Barred on anything we say, pun intended. You can follow the podcast again, guys, on Twitter at No Holds Barred WP. Follow myself at Real Kyle Masters. Follow Corporate Cappy at Corporate Cappy. You can also follow us on Instagram, No Holds Barred WP, all one word. If you want to listen to us on the go, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Spreakers, we can find us. Spreaker is a glorious free app available for all Android and Apple devices. It's free to make a profile. You can chat with us live on the air, and you can listen to all previous episodes of the podcast as well. If you want to watch any video versions of the podcast, youtube.com/NGBWR is where you can find that. You can hit that subscribe button, that bell icon for all upload updates, and that's where all 2K content, unboxings, and video versions of the podcast will be posted. Other than that, I am the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and every week on the Lowdown Show, I am joined by my co-host. He is the blissful boss, Mr. Corporate himself, Corporate Cappy.
Happy Rusev Day on Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Rusev Day on Valentine's Day. It's weird how they fall under the same day. Shocker. But we're always reminding you to keep it on the Lowdown.
What you gonna do?